Hey everyone, what's up? Um, it is Sunday, June 3rd, 2018. This was the last day of the Apricot Fiesta, the 48th annual one. It just ended officially 43 minutes ago. I didn't go today. Usually I would go on a Sunday after church, but of course, after you've had a few here and there, you kind of want to rest a little bit. So my mom, of course, went to church, and then she probably went to my sister's and met up with them there and walked with them or went with them to the fiesta. And right now, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but the Warriors and the Cavs are on right now. So I'm pretty sure that's why I probably won't have that many viewers or live stream viewers right now in the chat. But hold on for a sec. I gotta go take something real quickly, as well as check the score. Sorry about that. I had to go get me some Xantex, if you will. Took the first one 24 hours ago. Taking another one now. And right now the score is 34-28 Warriors. But uh, that helps out a little bit. But like I said, it's 34-28 Warriors right now, as far as I know. Maybe it's going to change. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, I wanted to come on here and talk about this weekend's recent episode, which is Marks for Effort. This obviously, I don't know if this is one of the episodes that got leaked earlier, but from what I've heard Dr. Wolf say, from what I've heard other people have said, and and that's the Warriors scoring again. Anyway, uh, what I'm saying is that I heard what Dr. Wolf said. I read a little bit basically through Wikipedia and sources, and this is the episode where we get introduced to the season 8 finale villain, Cozy Glow. This is who we get introduced to. This is how we're introduced to her, and apparently she's supposed to be the antagonist, but you want to wonder why, especially the way she acts and all that. And my opinion is she's going to be put in. My opinion with Cozy Glow is this: I think she's going to be put into a position to where she thinks she's doing the right thing, and then she finds out she's being used, she's being manipulated by whoever the main true antagonist is at the end of it, whether it's Turek or Chancellor Nasey. We don't know. But there is a part in the episode where Cozy Glow is like, when she's learning about the elements of harmony one by one, it's like you could tell she's really focusing in on those elements, like, what they're about, how they're about, and all that. So to me, it's almost like it's almost like, to me, Cozy Glow is kind of like a, how do I put this? She's kind of the, don't judge a book by its cover kind of deal. It's like you think she's a good character, but then in the end you find out there's something more to her, and I'm just wondering if maybe that's exactly what we're going to find out, that perhaps there's more to her than she's letting on, because even Dr. Wolf, who fairly is good at doing good review, fairly good at reviewing, says even he has this nagging feeling about this character. Like, something about this character doesn't sit right with him. It's like, yeah, everything looks good and everything in the end, but it's almost like there's something about this character. There's almost something about this character that there's a feeling about this character he can't shake. And I think, honestly, it's going to lead to something, a revelation at the end. I think it's going to lead to some kind of revelation at the end that, she's the niece, maybe, of Naysayer. Maybe she's older than what she looks. But the question is, though, I think a lot of people want to know is, why is it the CMCs that are targeted? Why are they the ones that are the focal point of this? Why are they the ones, according to the synopsis, along with the Student Six, the ones that have to go against what's going on involving Cozy Glow in the finale? And I think it all has to stem from the fact that Nicole Dubach, as far as I know, has wrote for this, or helped write for this, called the Ponyville Mysteries. And from what I understand, and if Nicole Dubach was one of the head writers of this, or the main creator of Ponyville Mysteries, again, I can't say whether yay or nay on that, then something tells me that Nicole's taken a bit of what she put into these books, or inspired, or she came up with for these books. She came up with for these books, and she's slowly putting it into season 8. She's slowly putting it into season 8. And if that's the case, then hey, good job on her part, because it's doing something that, as far as I know, um, like I said, as far as I know, no other show has done yet. It, it's basically, for a second here, it's basically making you guess. It's making you wonder, okay, what the heck is going on here? What is this character about? We don't know much about this character. It's like, because in the episode, not to give much away, it seems that she's studying very well. She's studying intently so she could pass the test to get into the friendship school. I don't know why they would need a test to get into the friendship school. And oh, it was just a text. I just got a text via Twitter. Why they need a test to get into the friendship school, I don't know. And it really was kind of weird. That she's studying, it looks like she's ready and everything, and then she screws up on the test. And her excuse is, well, if I did this, the CMCs would be able to get into the school and show that, hey, they still have a lot to learn about friendship too. But mainly what I saw with the CMCs in this episode is, they went back to the roots. They went back to when Cozy Glow needed help. When Cozy Glow needed help, Um, when Cozy Glow needed help with a homework assignment. Now again, I don't know if it was because something to get into school, or maybe she was already in the school. I'm assuming she was already in the school. I don't know, but something. But the way the CMC, excuse me, the way the CMCs were acting in this episode was kind of like unusual to a lot of people. It's like they it's like, okay, you can be impressed by another school having all this great atmosphere, all these great activities, all these great lessons and all that you can learn. And a lot of people felt that that was kind of out of character for the CMCs. But if you take a look at the CMCs and how they're portrayed basically as being the equivalent of what we are when we grew up. We grew up, I should say, and what kids are going to go through. Kids are going to make friends with other students or other kids. They're going to probably keep in contact with them, and then they're going to hear, "Oh yeah, this school that we're going to now has all these amenities and does this and that." And kids are going to be like, "Well, our school doesn't do any of that." So it's like our school is only allowed to do these kind of activities and has these many classes. Da da da. So that's what the CMCs are representing. They're representing the enviness that a lot of kids have when they hear about these rival schools or these other schools having all these amenities and stuff scattered around. You know, I don't know if it's, but basically that's the vibe I got from them was, hey, this is who we are. Basically it was more, and at first it was more of an envious because they want to be part of something that the only reason they want to be part of it is because they see all the fun people are having. And a lot of people felt that that might have been, some people like Dr. Wolf and all that might have felt that that's a little regressing for the CMCs. And that's been something that's sort of been at times in episodes here, in season 8, kind of, I wouldn't say a pattern, but it's kind of been a thing in a sense, kind of been like a um, almost a regular thing with the season, that it seems every now and then with these episodes, you end up having characters seemingly regress back to what they were before. And I think with Nicole Dubach being the executive producer, I think that's been her intention, not just to incorporate a little bit of the Ponyville mysteries in there when it focuses on the CMCs, because think about it, it hasn't been, what, several weeks, and we already have another CMC episode. We had one with the surf and turf. We had surf or turf. We had one sort of with breakup, breakdown, or the breakup breakdown, or whatever it was called, sort of. So it's like now we have three stories, and we're not even halfway through the season. So to me, that sounds like, again, like I mentioned earlier, Nicole DeBach trying to add a little bit of that Ponyville mystery spin to it, and possibly her love for the CMCs into the mix. But what I also see, though, but what I also see, honestly, but like I said, what I also see though is with Nicole Dubach being the executive producer, and her basically, oh, not her, but with episodes, I should say, having this regular rotation of episodes where the characters seem to regress, or certain things are teased, like Sparity, Rarity, and Spike Shipping, and all that. it's to me, it's like Nicole's trying to reset the table so she can start out fresh. And this is not uncommon with writers that take over, or producers or writers that take over for the person that came before them. I mean, Megan McCarthy pretty much did the same thing when Lauren Faust finally stepped down. She decided to do things a little different, kind of make, she decided to do things a little different and kind of go her own way so she could start out fresh as executive producer. Because, like I said, Lauren Faust was the executive producer for season 1 and somewhat of season 2. So when Megan McCarthy came on, Megan McCarthy decided to do things that were a little questionable in season 3, because, of course, season 3 was kind of in question whether or not it would be the last season or wasn't, and it turned out not to be. But even in that season and forward, she made decisions and stuff that didn't really kind of gel with people at first, but also it was kind of like back and forth. It's like she made decisions that didn't gel and some that did. But the reason she was doing that, especially when it came to season 3, was to make things fresh for her, so she could start off fresh with a fresh start. And I know I say that word a lot right now. I do apologize. But she basically wanted to have a blank slate to begin with for her run. And that's kind of what I see with Nicole Duboc, with her sometimes regressing characters back to almost season 1, season 2 levels, or season 3 levels, to incorporating a bit of Ponyville mystery lore into this, especially with the CMCs being focused on. It's because of the fact that she wants to start, just like Megan, she wants to start out fresh. She wants to start out with a clean slate, so she can, write her own path, or she can produce her own path with this series. And that's why she's doing certain things the way she does. I mean, what the vibe I get with Nicole Duboc is, the vibe I get with Nicole Duboc, and maybe it's just me, but I think in a sense she'd never really. It seems to me, this is my opinion. It seems to me maybe she was never really in favor of certain events happening or certain characters changing over time, and that maybe she felt certain characters were better certain ways. And that certain things were better as if left as is. And maybe, and perhaps that's why we're seeing this. Maybe Nicole wants to kind of bring back what made the show good in the first place back into season 8 with season 8. She wants to bring back these little friendly rivalries between Applejack and Rainbow Dash, disparity shipping, focus on building the CMC stories. Like maybe she wasn't in favor of the CMCs, getting the cutie marks right off the bat. Maybe she wanted them to wait. Who knows? But again, I think that's why, as crazy as it sounds, and I know it sounds like I'm rambling, as crazy as it sounds, that's why I think Nicole Duboc is producing the series the way she is this year, because she wants to kind of bring back elements from earlier seasons that were established then, and she probably thought worked great then, into this season, as well as put a bit of focus on mystery and intrigue and suspense. Because, like I said, with this episode, we get introduced to Cozy Glow, who is positioned as the main antagonist of the finale. And the question is, how in the world is that possible if she doesn't seem like to be a villain? And Dr. Wolf brought up a good point here. He brought up the point that could she be connected to Chancellor Naysay, like maybe a relative, a niece? Is she somewhat connected to Turek? Who knows? But the fact that the synopsis has the CMCs and the Student 6 being the ones to have to save the day, it's almost like, again, it's almost like she's trying to bring in a bit of that Ponyville mystery intrigue into the series. But also, when I look at the synopsis for season 8's finale, it's almost like she's trying to say, okay, if the main 6, main 7 have done what they've done and everything, maybe it's time for this new generation to get more focused, and perhaps that's what season 8 is going to be about. Like, hey, we're going to pass the torch, not totally get away from the main characters of Twilight, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, Applejack, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, and Starlight, and Spike, but basically, like when it comes to season 9, maybe put more emphasis on the CMCs and some of the younger generations to go out and do friendship missions. Again, that may not happen. Now, let me assure you that may not happen, but that seems like the direction they want to go in, and Nicole wants to go in. And I could be wrong. Honestly, I could be very, very wrong. But it seems to me that that's exactly what she wants to do. And again, I mean, you wonder, why the characters are acting a little out of character sometimes. And I think the reason being is because she's trying to bring back elements of what she felt made the characters interesting, what she felt made the character, made the characters unique and everything. And that's why she's, like, and some people would say, regressing certain characters back to season 1 levels, or earlier season levels, I should put it, because maybe she felt that's what worked best, like with Twilight acting the way she did, in Horseplay, and all that. It's like, this is the Twilight she wants to see. I mean, everybody basically said we hadn't seen Twilight blow up like that in Horseplay, I should say, um, since season 1, season 2, since what around Feeling Pinky King. So for Nicole to executively produce that episode of the season and bring that back into play, it's like like I said, it's like she feels these earlier characteristics of these characters worked better, in the series than what we're getting now. It's like, if you don't have something to, really define who. Be right back. Hello? Yeah, it's 74 minutes. Yeah, 5138 Golden State. 5138 Golden State. Second quarter. Well, now it's 5139. Yeah. Okay. I already have a little peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And it's not even one right now. It's not even one right now. It did earlier. Mm-hmm. It's 77. It's good. Yeah, Cleo's in her bed. She's staying cool. You know, Caddy, I should say. All right. No. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. It's 51:44 now. 51:44. Actually, make that 54:44. Yeah. But, okay. Okay. All right. Right. Okay. Right. Sorry about that, folks. My mom called and she just told me what she was doing. And basically, with a hot day, you really don't want to do much, especially if you got a fiesta going on. Anyway, anyway, like I was saying, it seems to me that that's exactly what Nicole wants to do with the season. She wants to kind of, because like I said, some people are complaining that the characters are regressing at times, and I don't think it's the characters regressing. I think it's more along the lines of she wants to bring in elements of what made them different, made the characters different, the personalities different from earlier seasons. Because if she does that, it'll make things more intriguing, more interesting for the viewers. And that might be good on her part. And I'm not saying she doesn't have any good intentions in doing that, but the one thing people have liked about the series so far is it has been about progression. You don't want to go back, but if she feels, hey, this is what is going to help, it's like if this is what's going to help the series, he's become, stay interesting, maybe help it potentially get another season, down the line, maybe a 10th season, then so be it. Then you're like, so be it. Let it happen. But you know that's why, in my opinion, and I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted there. Like I said, I just got that phone call. Uh, but like I said, that's why the certain characters from the main seven, main six, to even the CMCs are acting the way they did, because it's like, wait a minute, this is a reminder of earlier versions of them. And potentially that's why, in my opinion, that Nicole Duboc is bringing back these more intriguing, more interesting personality traits of these characters to help, revitalize the season. It's like, hey, if I mix in, the rivalry of the friendly rivalry of Applejack and Rainbow Dash into this new season, along with this new job they're doing, that might make things interesting. If I continually bring back Disparity Ship, even for a meltdown and somewhat break up, break down, that'll make things more intriguing because I think these are elements people always in. She might feel that these are things people always enjoyed about the characters, and that's why you're constantly getting them. So that's just my opinion. And again, when I look at Cozy Glow, it's like this is if this is how being introduced to her, and just the fact that, like I said, they had that scene of her intently studying what the elements of harmony were. It's almost like they're setting up for the fact that that's going to get used against everybody, so that if it is Chancellor Naysay that's behind this, maybe he's made some pact with Turek or something. That in the end, that I don't know what it's going to do because I don't know what's going to happen. But if it ties into Chancellor Naysay, either he's going, either he's going to find out in the end that hey, Twilight was right, and this is a school that helps bring all, countries together, all parts of you know, you know, what I'm trying to say is, and I'm sorry for distraction. Let me just shut this for a second. There we go. Uh, but to me, it's almost like, in a sense, if it's connected to Chancellor Naysay, it's almost like maybe this is what he wants. Like he's trying. Look, remember, he's made a vow to make sure the school doesn't exist. He even said that to Twilight that, but he basically countered her before he left. He said when she said her school would help save and bring Equestria together, what did he say? He said, or destroy it. What better way to get back at her than maybe using magic from Turek that he gives to Turek and maybe he gets? I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know what's going to happen with those two, but if that's his way of trying to prove, hey, your school isn't as safe as you think it is, isn't as good as you think it is, you know, then that's an interesting direction to go in. Now, like I said, I don't think Cozy Glow is going to intend. What I get with Cozy Glow is she's a good character. She's got a good heart. And some people may say, well, she's just putting up this facade, and it kind of correlates with what you read in Podiumfield Mysteries. But when I look at Cozy Glow, I look at a character that's going to get redeemed if she does anything bad, and apparently she will. But I look at a character that's regretting doing what she has to do. Like she regretted purposely failing on the test. So it tells me she's going to regret doing whatever she's going to get associated with or be tangled into. It's like she's going to be forced to do it, even though she feels it's not the right thing to do. And to me, that's again the vibe. And again, that's the vibe I get here. And again, like I said, that's the vibe I get here with this season. With this episode, and everything, that's the vibe I get. That basically, Cozy Glow is going to be set up in the finale. We're getting introduced to her now, so we can have like a half a season to kind of contemplate, okay, and think, okay, what kind of a role is she going to play in the finale? But also, it looks like she's going to get set up to take the falls. Like she's going to be the pawn in all this with whoever's behind the situation, because of the fact that she thinks what she's doing is right, maybe, or she's being convinced that what she's doing is right, and it's not. It's not right. So again, I don't know exactly what they got planned or how she's going to play into the finale. Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, honestly. So I don't know what role she's going to play, but I think in a sense she's going to be more of a pawn in the situation, like I said. And I was just looking at something. I'm sorry if I was distracted, but I think she's going to be more of a pawn, really. It's like she's going to get convinced by whoever convinces her that this is the right thing to do. And she's going to be like, okay, whatever. It's like, okay, I'll do it. Because again, you got to look at the subtle clues. Her intently studying the elements of magic, and all that, and stuff like that. It's like, come on, honestly, something is not there. Something is not right. And here's the thing. I saw this meme, kind of this comparison meme, on one of the Facebook group pages. There was, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Cats Don't Dance, which came out around the late 90s by Warner Brothers, had this villainous character called Dollar Dimple. And publicly, publicly, she looked all sweet, darling, nice, complete little angel. But behind the scenes, she's anything but. And I saw this comparison. And it makes you wonder if she's being set up as being like the Dollar Dimple. Maybe not so much as, she doesn't get redeemed, because she probably will be. But if she's being set up as the Dollar Dimple for this upcoming finale, this upcoming season 8 finale, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, because if that is the case, then I will give Nicole Dubach and whoever's writing this character a lot of credit. You're really throwing us off. But to me, there's more to this character than it's being let on. Honestly, there is more to this character than what's being let on, and that's the honest truth. But again, we don't know what role she's going to play. We don't know what her connection is and all that. But again, we'll have to wait and see. As far as the episode goes, when it came to, as far as I've heard, like I said, it kind of ties into what I mentioned earlier. The fact that I think Nicole Dubach is basically bringing back elements of season 1 or earlier seasons of the characters and incorporating them into season 8, so she can kind of have a fresh start. Like, she has this fresh start, this clean slate to start on, because she's using, in her mind, traits that she felt may work better and made the characters more intriguing and interesting than what we were currently getting. That's why you see the CMCs act the way they did just to get into school. That's why you kind of see Twilight with a freak out in horseplay. That's why you have the Rainbow Dash Applejack friendly rivalry. That's why you have the Sparity ship. Stuff like that. So I'm thinking that's what this second season is about. I mean, this first half, I should say, not second season, but this first half of season 8 is about. It's mainly about incorporating, but kind of giving herself, or setting herself up to have that clean slate when we get into the second half of this 8th season. Again, like I said, it's just my opinion on it. It's just my opinion, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong about what's going to happen, and who knows? Who knows? They may surprise us. They may legitimately surprise us in the end. So, but we'll just have to wait and see what they do. Honestly, I can't really say any more than that. All I could just say is Marks for Effort was, from what it sounds like, was definitely an intriguing episode, interesting episode, and it definitely left a lot of questions opened to be interpreted and answered later on, especially left a lot of speculation open, ended to be answered and stuff later on. And again, this was an interesting way to introduce us to Cozy Glow. And, whether or not she's put into a role similar to Darla Dimple and Cats Don't Dance, with the exception that she will be redeemed, or she's just going to be used as a pawn in a scheme to shut the school down, either by Naysay or a collaboration of Naysay and Turek. We don't know. Hey, think about it this way. Maybe Cozy Glow is our first introduction to some kind of connection to Grogar. Who knows? We don't know that yet. But it's very interesting to find out what they do next with this character, or how this leads in and connects to the season 8 finale, because there's going to be references and basically a connection to this episode to that episode. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do. But yeah, it was an interesting way to bring in Cozy Glow. It was an interesting take on the CMCs, basically regressing them back a little bit to earlier season versions of themselves. But again, like I said, that seems to be the norm right now in this season. And like I said, I think it's because Nicole Duboc wants to give herself somewhat of a clean slate, as well as bring in elements of the characters or characteristics of all the characters that she felt made them more intriguing and more interesting. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But really, that's all I can say on it, guys. Sorry if I was a little distracted here. I got the phone call, I got the Warriors game on, so and it's been hot. It's about 101 right now. So let me know what you guys think, though, down below. Comment if you like. Thank you all for tuning in live. I really appreciate that, especially in this time. Or during this time, I should say. Really appreciate that. And yeah, tomorrow marks 10 years here on YouTube. So prepare for something maybe later tonight. Who knows? So till then, guys, talk to y'all later. Let me check the chat real quickly. You're not much there. But again, guys, thank you all for tuning in live. Really appreciate it. And I will talk to you all later. So until then, God bless. Take care. Let me know what you guys think down below. Oh, and everything. Let me know what you think post live down below. And I will talk to you all later.